We welcome in the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, joins us on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Joe, how we feeling today?
What's up, fellas? How are we doing?
Doing good. You get that workout in today yet?
I'm bouncing right after this. You guys cut right into it. Who has an interview at noon?
What? I think your people scheduled this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to the boss.
I don't think it was us.
We'll let you go. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight.
No, we just got a shoot around and just got back to the hotel and then start my pregame routine after that.
I mean, there's so many expectations about this team this year, the additions that you've made. You're going into your second year. How do you manage the expectations, especially just coming out of the gate game one?
Yeah, I mean, I think, no one has higher expectations than our guys have for themselves and than we have as a team, and we understand that's the end goal for most teams in the league is to obviously win. But at the end of the day, we have to be patient. We got to get the most out of each other. We have to come together as a team. We got to do all the little things, and every team, just because they're great on paper, has to go through a learning curve, and we have to learn how to play with each other. We have to learn how to win together. And, every season presents challenges, and we just have to be ready to face those together. So exciting opening night. No better opportunity than opening up, at Madison Square Garden and then a home game Friday. And, there'll be a lot of emotions in game one. But we also understand it's a long year, and it's about where we are and how we're playing at the end.
It's interesting you bring up the Garden. Is that one of your favorite buildings to play in, coach in?
Yeah, no question. I played it there as a player.
Yep.
Have a lot of good memories there. I think a lot of the players just enjoy being able to play at the Garden because so much history, college, NBA, sports in general has happened there. So I think any time you get a chance to compete there, it's pretty cool.
When you say you're excited, are you excited that now it's actually the games being played and it's no longer about the roster or changes to it or the off season or anything that comes with that? It's just about the game in front of you now as you go day to day in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see our guys compete. I'm excited for us to play against opponents. I'm excited for us to go through scouts and adjustments and just to learn. I think, that's the thing that we're going to have to understand as a team is on paper we're really, really good, but during the season presents different challenges, different opportunities to grow, different opportunities to get better, and we just got to be open-minded to that. And as long as we're competing at a high level, as long as we're doing it together, the learning stuff, will help us in the long run.
I know you're trying to get your team ready, Joe, to play the game tonight, but did you get a chance to watch any of the Lakers in Denver last night, tipping it off?
I did. Yeah, I watched.
What an environment, man. Holy crap, what an environment.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Like you said, you have to balance the emotion of opening night and saying that you still have 81 games left and hopefully more than that. You know what I mean? So you got to take it all in. Very few opening night opportunities that you have, especially, with us, the Celtics, and the teams that we play against usually on opening night. So just have to balance that emotion and then, try to stay as even keel as you can.
What kind of questions do you have that you think might get answered as early as game one? Is it about maybe chemistry with some of the additions to the team? Is it about some of maybe if you focused on one thing in training camp and you want to see if it comes to fruition? What are you going to be looking for specifically tonight other than trying to get the win?
Yeah, I think just our mindset, the way we approach the game, the way we approach the beginning of the game, the way we approach situational basketball, the way we approach our scouting reports. And I think the second piece is our toughness. How tough are we going to be throughout the game? It's not going to be easy, at any point in time during the year, but can we maintain a level of toughness on both ends of the floor where we're physical defensively and then we're also physical, fighting for our space, setting good screens and doing all the things to execute, in a game. And so I think tonight it's about our mindset and our toughness.
It almost sounds like a concentration or focus issue. Is that something that you've been thinking about before the season starts? And also, is that something that's tough to work on in camp as opposed to a game?
No, it's definitely not an issue. These are just there are points of emphasis that I think are important for our team in general are those two things. So it's not an issue. And I thought from a training camp perspective in the preseason, we had a great mindset. We had great toughness, and we were very locked in on what the objectives were for training camp. Now it's just a matter of making those habits every single day when things change. The travel is longer than it is in the preseason. It's going to be harder to practice at certain times, and so we just have to be able to approach it with the right mindset and the right sense of toughness.
I don't want to be repetitive because I know we did this with you in person a week ago, but you getting tired of the starting lineup questions? Like, does it really matter to you? Big, small, once you get, 20, 25 games into this thing?
I mean, no, it doesn't matter because the first sub happens at the 7-minute mark. So, we're going to make a huge big deal over the first 5 minutes of the game. And that's the reality. At the end of the day, we have a number of guys that are going to start games. Most teams don't play with the same starting lineup for the entire year because of injuries, who's sitting back-to-backs, who's out, matchups. And so, at the end of the day, we just have to have a level of open-mindedness to know this is where we're going on game one. But, we're going to play to our strengths. We're going to play to our matchups, and there's going to be times to play different lineups. And the other piece of that is there's no right answer. Just because we start one way tonight doesn't mean that that's the best way 15, 20, 30 games from now. And, it's just a matter of our guys understanding, we're all have to be open-minded and we all have to be willing to sacrifice, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
Joe Mazzulla is with us.
A lot
sorry,
of talk
Joe.
over the first 5 minutes of the game,
Yeah, there has been.
One of the best players in the league comes out at the 7-minute mark.
Joe Mazzulla is with us. He's brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing, your lifetime roofing solution. Something I know we talked with you about at the end of last season and throughout the course of last season was when you're not hitting threes, how do you find ways to win? And is that something that you've got on your mind going into a new season? When the three isn't falling, how do you win?
I mean, more than that, it's like we have to take the best shots available. But we also have to be, aware of other ways to affect the game. And I thought that was something that we were inconsistent with last year and something that we made a point of emphasis on this year. And the two best ways, and I think it comes down to shot margin. It's not the shots that we're taking because we were top of the league in shot selection. And, our guys are skilled enough when we pass and we move to where we'll get great shots. It's a matter of how do we control the shot margin? How do we find other ways to affect the game, and whether it's offensive rebounding and it's forcing turnovers. In those two areas we struggled with last year, and they're a point of emphasis, this year where we got to get extra possessions and we got to be more active on defense and create some of those opportunities.
You mentioned offensive rebounding being one of the things you could focus in on. Do you think that we could see Derek White, Drew Holiday be guys that help you in that department? Given that if Porzingis is on the floor, are there ways that there are guys that could beef up some stats in that department this year?
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, I think, Jason and Jalen as well. I think there were times last year where we showed that ability to commit to offensive rebounding. But it has to become a way of life for us because, like you said, the shots always aren't going to fall, and we have to eliminate the chance with extra possessions, getting more shots, getting more easy baskets. That's the thing you learn heading into the season. As the game goes on, it gets harder and harder to score easy baskets, and you got to be able. Your best players have to make tough shots, and then you got to find ways to get easy ones, whether it's forcing turnovers or getting extra possessions.
Where'd you eat last night, Joe? I heard they got nice restaurants down there.
Emilio Bellato is one of the top, outside of Boston, one of the top restaurants in the league.
Wow.
Do you have to call ahead, or do you just walk in?
I got to call ahead at this point.
Do you do the calling, or do hey, this is the Celtics calling for head coach Joe Mazzulla?
I don't do the call. I'm a little shy when it comes to that, so I have someone that does it for me.
You shy?
Look at
no, come on, no way.
What'd you have to eat?
But,
What'd you get?
We had a little bit of everything. We had a little veal. We had a little chicken Milanese. We had a little bit of broccoli rabe. I didn't have any pasta last night, so I'm trying to change the pre-night routine a little bit.
What? Oh, trying to stay a little lighter, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, trying to stay a little lighter for sleep,
All right. I wouldn't go changing up too much from last year. I mean, I don't want to tell you your business, but, it seemed to work on it.
Hey, I have one last question for you, Joe. We were down in the Arbuck Center last week, and some of the Celtic beat writers were sort of around those tables with us. And
good job, Zolak.
And we're like, hey, what are you guys doing here? They're like, well, why don't you ask your buddy Joe Mazzulla? Because the blinds were down where they normally set up in that upper tier to where they could watch practice or look down.
They said it's been a very secretive
camp.
They
said it's been real covered up and quiet down there, very Belichikian.
Did they say ask your buddy Joe so that they
did?
They're good, so they know we're buddies.
Yeah, you could ask Brian Robb. Brian Robb started this, this thing. So you could give it to him post game tonight.
I will. No, I just think it's a level of when our guys are working and doing some of their stuff. It's no matter who it is. It's good to have a level of privacy for the players to just be able to do what they do. And then there's also a time where it should be open to the people who are around us all the time. So it's just finding that balance.
Hey, first time you did the Coach Belichick Foundation event last week at the Four Seasons. How'd that go that night?
That was awesome. It was awesome because just to have a foundation like that where it's about youth sports and the coaches that go with it. And it was cool because, I still remember all of my coaches' names, from my youth days. And one of the reasons why I got into coaching was because of the positive experiences that I had with every coach. And so, I've never had a negative situation with the coach, and they've always helped me get to where I want to go. And so to be able to be a part of that and kind of remember my coaches and see Coach Belichick talk about youth sports and how important the coaches are to that level, it can make or break a guy's experience and, if he stays with the sport long enough. So it was a lot of fun.
Very good. Joe, good luck tonight. We're looking forward to the start of the season, as I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you, Joe.